Hello family, how is your February coming along? Mine has kicked off well, and last week I received gifts of trees from Lennox who paid me a visit, and I'm just packing up and heading over to my villa to plant them. It is quite strange that it is raining at this time of the year. I don't know if I should be excited about it or it is something I should be sad about, but it is the best time to also plant things, and my trees will not be left out. The village roads are quite muddy, but not the kind of mud that we get stuck in. Somehow we can drive through the muddy roads. Here's a glimpse of the beautiful views of my village. I hope you enjoy watching our beautiful village. It is usually green after the planting season, but all the same, it is still very beautiful. My home looks very bushy. It's because it's been raining, and the farmhand also extended his Christmas leave, and by the time he returned, the grass was so tall all over the compound, so it's taking him a bit of time to maintain the home. The grass in the yard is the swamp grass that I found here. I haven't planted grass yet, and it's because I need a well-drained soil, which I will be adding on top of this one before I plant alone. I used to plant trees randomly all over my yard, but these days I have to stop and figure out exactly where I want that tree to be, and I try to imagine what the tree will look like when it's fully grown. It's also important to know what tree you're planting, its root system. We've had trees damaging houses, so these days I just don't plant trees without looking into that. I haven't seen my neighbor in a while. She also had an ongoing project, and I was just shocked to see the changes she's made. And it is always important to recognize the efforts people make and just congratulate them for the little milestones. I try to keep a good relationship with my neighbors because this is very important for my peaceful existence in this place. So simple things like just checking up on them will always take you a long way. I honestly don't know how Lennox knew this, but he bought all the trees that I don't have and even brought fruit trees. I have a variety of fruit trees here. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't have mango trees. I think I planted them the very first time I began planting trees on my property, but then they were consumed by the fire and I never planted mangoes again. But today I'm so lucky to have 3 mango trees. I hope there are 3 different varieties, and that's really awesome. This one that looks like cypress is called thuya. It is one of those trees you want to plant somewhere close to the house. So I want to be planting it today. I'm just going to be watering it until I'm done with the plastering work in the front of the house. Then I will plant it somewhere there. The mango trees are grafted, and I hope it's not too early to take this binding out. If left for too long, it normally hinders the growth of the tree, but this looks like it's already stuck together, so I hope it's just the right time to remove it. We have a lot of manure at home, so I always carry some whenever I'm coming to plant trees, and I just mix it up with the soil where I want to plant before planting my tree. We are always advised at the garden center not to make the holes too deep. It should be as deep as the base of the soil that holds the plant, so that when you plant, then the top of that base is at ground level. So I've today planted 3 mango trees. All of them are in the backyard, and I'm heading over to plant the last tree of the day. I had this one before. Unfortunately, it is one of the trees that was consumed by the fire and it never grew back. So I'm so excited to have it again. It's quite a beautiful ornamental tree to have in your yard. And I'm planting it right here in the front yard, not too close to the house though. I'm still in the process of organizing the yard, so a few trees will have to change positions, but at least not this one. I'm very satisfied with where I have planted this particular tree. And as always, I water my trees well after planting to just give them a start off. These ones have been stopped for days after delivery, so they really need the water. The clouds are gathering and they are getting darker. Looks like we're gonna have more rain this evening. But we never leave here without some garden harvest, not forgetting the eggs. My experimental garden is surprising me each and every day, and today we have something I have never shown you. Sometimes I just come here, plant things, maybe not so positive about how they will turn out, but they always surprise me. So a few weeks ago, just around Christmas time, I popped in here and planted some seeds of cowpeas. We eat cowpeas leaves here as well as the seeds. And today I have leafy green cowpeas vegetables. I'm honestly really excited about this one. This one was quite a success. And being a very hardy vegetable, the January sun had nothing on it. The leaves are quite bigger than I thought. They usually don't look like this, so this place seems really fertile. And being that they are purely organic, I did not use any commercial fertilizers on it. I'm gonna be enjoying this dish. This is coming at a time when there is scarcity of vegetables in our village market. Farmers avoid growing vegetables at this time because of the prolonged drought that is usually expected in January and February, but this time things are so different. So that's how we ended up with no vegetables or very little vegetables in the market. So it's only the risk takers like me who have vegetables right now in their gardens. I'm really, really excited. The chilies too have never stopped producing. So whenever I come here, I just pick out the ripe ones and I leave the rest for next time. But it has never stopped producing. So today alone, I've saved around 600 Kenya shillings from collecting my own eggs, the chilies, and the vegetables. What a beautiful life. So let me pack up my harvests and head home. The clouds have all been blown away by the winds, but we still have a very cool, calm evening. My home is quite close to our home, so when it rains here, it also rains. on my side. So for today, there's no rain. Let's bake some cake for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Saturday, and we like to have cake over the weekend. So I'm baking a simple vanilla cake today. You need 3 eggs. You guys have always told me to share my recipes no matter what, even if I'm repeating them. So you need 3 eggs and 3/4 cup of sugar. Then you just have to beat it until it's well mixed. Always take your time to beat it well for a perfect outcome. I'm not a pro at baking, but YouTube and other books have been really helpful. Add a cup of milk, beat it again, and then we shall add oil. That is half cup of oil, and then we shall beat it again until it is really well mixed. If you have the mixer, then it can make your work easier, but I don't have that, so I'll just whisk it until I have the thickness that I want. We are done with the wet ingredients. We are now going to add the dry ingredients. That is 2 cups of flour, and there is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. You can put all of them together, and I like to have them pass through a sieve just to make mixing easier and so that we don't have those lumps. Of all the things that I bake, I find cakes the easiest thing to bake, and it takes very little time. So this simple vanilla cake is my go-to recipe whenever I need a cake, and it's really delicious too. So we are now going to add in the flour bit by bit. I'm using all-purpose flour, and I will mix it until I have a very smooth batter. Next, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of lemon or lime juice. This is optional, but it really gives the cake a good taste. And lastly, we are going to add vanilla essence. We mix it well, and our batter is ready for baking. I'm currently preheating my oven at 180 degrees Celsius, and that's the temperature at which we are going to bake our cake for 40 minutes. Our cake is ready and it has cooled down, so let's see what we have. So we have a very sweet spongy cake that is quite delicious for your breakfast or tea time snack. I hope you try it. Earlier this week, I also had the privilege of hosting Wonodidi, his daughter, and his mom. They stopped by to see my project and all that I've been doing. Wonodidi has built his very beautiful villa in Karating, and his input on the ongoing project is very important for me at this point. I'm so grateful that he stopped by because there are a few changes that I'm gonna be making based on his advice as someone who has built and finished his project. It is always very important to consult people who've been there so that you don't make those mistakes in your own projects. So I'm not going to be learning from my own mistakes, but from others' mistakes. And I'm glad Wonodidi came and pointed the mistakes he made so that I don't have to make them. If you want to see his own villa, then you can visit his channel, that is Wonodidi, and you can see that amazing house and other properties he has visited. Building a house is not easy. I could say it is a very complicated process before you get to finish your house. So taking advice from people who've been there, people who've completed their projects, is always very important. That's the reason I always allow veterans to visit my project and point out the things they feel were done wrongly or those that were done correctly, or just show areas where I can improve. Stay tuned because we are going to be spending a lot of time here in the coming days, and I know many will be excited about this. It's bye for now. I'll see you in the next.